I think this book is very, very thoughtful. It talks about the Christian is mostly about uh, yeah, just in this part, I want to begin the highlight of this part. Committed Christian, but an unpoliticized church. In 1928, Bishop Charles Gore looked back with some dissatisfaction on the progress of the Christian socialist movement in which he had for so many years been involved. There had, he thought, been a lack of certainty about methods and objectives. Thus, to name only one point, though a most important one, we are embarrassed by an uncertainty as to what the principles of Christ, such as admit of being applied to society, really were and are. For the Christian socialists of our own day, such uncertainties have melted away, though not, one may be very sure, in a way calculated to lessen Bishop Core's embarrassment. Yet, because they have been so involved in social movement, then they have lost the principles of Christ, of their spiritual pursuit. So when you take so much actions, then you would lose in your spiritual pursuit. In a way calculated to lessen Bishop Gore's embarrassment, already he was adding militant socialists to those who he believed grossly misrepresented our Lord, to assert that there is no way in which we can deduce an ideal political society, political system, or economic doctrine from the teachings of Christ is not. So this is the key point of this paper. To assert that there is no way in which we can deduce an ideal political system or economic doctrine from the readings of Christ. To assert that there is no, we read the Bible, but the Bible is Bible itself. We can't deduce a social system from the Bible. If we want to desert the Bible and to get to deduce a social system from the Bible and then desert the Bible, that will make miserable to the world. This is the main idea of this book. To assert that there is no way in which we can deduce an ideal political system or economic doctrine from the teachings of Christ. There is no ideal political system or economic doctrine from the teachings of the Christ. So the teachings of Christ only exist in our mind. It cannot be emphasized too strongly to say that Christian people should withdraw into an unhealthy pietism, which is the standard counter-accusation. It is simply to assert the profound dangers for the Church, speaking as the Church, to identify herself and her teaching with any particular political analysis. Most obviously, is simply to assert the profound dangers for the Church to identify herself and her teachings with any political when you want to because political is very dirty and the church and belief and Christian is very clean. When we talking about Christian, when we talking about the Bible, that's very clean things. When we want to link it to the dirty things of political, that is polluting our faith. So it is simply to assert that it is very profound dangerous for the church to identify themselves with any political analysis. Most obviously, if the church stand for Donald Trump, it is okay for McDonald's to stand for Donald Trump. But if the church stand for Donald Trump against another candidate, that is pretty dirty. That if that's the religion we should take. That is a completely evil religion. Most obviously, as William Temple pointed out, because any such identification might well be falsified by history. Even more, as he went on to assert, is it a matter of justice for even a large majority of Christians hold a particular view, the dissentient minority may be equally loyal to Christ and equally entitled to recognized as loyal members of his church. And so it is when he offers his own detailed proposal for a welfare state that Temple makes it very clear that he is doing so in his capacity as a Christian citizen. Yeah, it's a Christian citizen, not as a Christian. So citizen is a political word, not a religious word. And he goes on to say, in words which should be carved in stone above the entrance to every episcopal residence, if any member of the Convocation of York should be so ill advised as to table a resolution that these proposals be adopted as a political program for the Church, I should be as Archbishop resisted that proposal with all my force, and should probably, as President of the Convocation, rule it out of order. The Church is committed to the everlasting gospel and to the creeds which formulates it. It must never commit itself to an ephemeral program of detailed action. So if the Church committed itself to a detailed action, to a very efferent secular things, that would make it become dirty, make it become shallow, make it become untrustworthy, unbelievable. Now, 40 years later, the Church appears less and less committed to its historic faith, more and more dogmatically committed precisely to ephemeral programs of detailed action. So this book is quite old. It may only be when history has begun to deliver its judgment on such programs that the bland certitude of their celestial protagonist will begin to waver. By then, alas, for many Christian souls, it may be too late. So we shouldn't pollute Christian the beliefs in with political things. And I think I have just understand now why I have explained enough why Christian is not a socialist, and Christian is also not a Marxist. And I also want to share with you about many people misinterpret of the word of the saying that for the rich to go to heaven is harder than the camel walk through the needle of needle's eye needle's eye. This that eye that saying is not to curse the rich man. It is just to state human possibility. If humans have for the rich man, if they want to go to heaven, they also that is very very hard, but they can make it if they just believe in God, if they just try it. This is the part that I would like to read to you. The saying about the camel and the needle's eye, which follows this, has attracted a number of interpretations. According to one, for instance, the needle's eye is the pedestrian gate of a Palestinian walled town, where after nightfall, when the main gate was shut, the camels would have to be unloaded and enter kneeling, a vivid image for humility and spiritual detachment from possessions. This interpretation finds little support from modern commentators, but it remains at the very least not congruous with the saying's context and meaning. So this means that if a rich man want to go to heaven, is like the camel going through the needle's eye. It is talking about it is very hard, but although it is hard, but it is possible with the God's help, with your spiritual, with your sincere, with your piety, with your sincere heart. Also, it also talks about to the camel to you have to unload the camel, then you have to unload your wealth. You have to uh, think think lowly and not think so highly of your wealth. Yeah, and then you just think most highly of your belief, but not so much of your wealth, and you have to lay down your wealth and enter kneeling, so piety, and then you can come across, you can go through the go for the rich can, yeah, can go through the go to heaven. It's a hyperbole to express what is humanly impossible. Rightly says that any such possibilities should not be used to weaken the saying, which is a vivid hyperbole to express what is humanly impossible. And here we approach the crux of the matter. It is the question of what is humanly possible and what humanly impossible, which is at the heart of the controversy between Augustine and the Sicilian Briton. It is this which gives this dispute its striking relevance to the debate in which the authors of this book are engaged. Sicilian was a military protagonist of a heretical tendency known today as Pelagianism, named after a British monk, Pelagius. The Pelagians believed, briefly, that our own sinfulness is ultimately under our own control. Do you believe that? Our own sinfulness is ultimately under our own control, even even when we are a little child. I think when I am a little child, I know that if I even whatever environment that I am in, if I want to do sin or resist to do thing, that is completely controlled by myself, and that would and the things that I do would determine would highly determine what fate I will have. So yeah, so that is every people's own choice that made their uh, their fate afterwards. Yeah, our own sinfulness is ultimately under our own control. We can decide to be sinless, and by our own effort, we can achieve salvation. The chief obstacle, yeah, we can decide to be sinless, and by our own effort, we can achieve salvation. I think I have very strong that feeling when I was a child, when people bully me, and I can be sinful, I can have some revenge, some hatred grow in my mind. But I know that as a child that would poison my heart, so I resist to do that. Then I just went through that hardship, and nothing bad happens because enemies beating you is just the one don't want to hurt you much as you hurt yourself by with your own hatred glowing in your mind. The chief obstacle to this are our own habits and settled dispositions which may be changed. Yeah, just our settled dispositions. If someone beat you and then you held revenge and hold all kinds of harmful ideas, that would change your disposition, would change your personality, and that would impede you in your future days to meet better people in your life and lose more opportunities in your life, which may be changed by an effort of will, and our surroundings environment, which can be changed by social reform. Our sinfulness is not inherent in the nature with which, yeah, our sinful is not inherent in nature. We are not a sin. We cannot say that because we are born in such environment, so we are sin. We can do sins. It's not in our nature. It's not at all. We can resist to do that, and we can when we meet better people, but we can choose to be or still be happy and still be kind, still hold a kindness to other people. It is not a sinful that are inherent in our nature, with which we are born into the world. On the contrary, the inherent goodness of human nature is the fundamental teaching of Pelagian philosophy. Yeah, it is the inherent goodness of human nature that makes human improve, makes human progress in the world, and you believe that you can be seamless, and you keep on. So when some bad people pollute you and you keep yourself clean and seamless, and then that pollution wanna be polluted to other people, then then you are clean. Then if every people otherwise if some people hurt you, and then before that you are clean, and then you are polluted, you pollute yourself, and then you made other people pollute, then the whole world would be completely polluted. That would be very, very bad. So it is very, so to be human, I think to be animal, I don't think animal can be that bad. To be savage, oh, I don't know whether savage, but yeah, I think if a human being choose to be a bad human, to be a bad person just because someone treats them badly, that is not so noble, so noble as to be a human being. Just if even someone treats you bad, and then you still be holding kindness and be still be seamless, that is that it can be as noble as a human. Yeah, that's I want to say. Thank you very much.